I used to be someone who would set a bunch of goals and have them pasted on my wall. I'm gonna get straight A's, I'm gonna have this sort of a job, I'm gonna have a great physique. You know, the type of person who would be obsessed with goals and would just think about them all the time. Because this is what I was told to do. Every motivational movie or clip that I saw pretty much just told me how important it was to focus on goals. But the truth is that I rarely accomplished any of these goals that I had set. Even though my goal was to get good grades, I ended up failing 3 subjects in high school. And by the way, this is my 3rd YouTube channel. In the past, I had 2 others, and I had set out a goal of having 10k subscribers, but I ended up deleting both of these channels at 60 subscribers or less. After years and years of failing, I thought to myself that maybe, just maybe, this mainstream advice, this advice that is offered by these gurus to just solely focus on your goals is perhaps not the best advice out there. So for the last 6 years, I've read hundreds of self-help books, watched thousands of podcasts on productivity, tried a bunch of diets, supplements, mental frameworks. And during this time, I came to one important conclusion: that goals are simply not enough. You need systems in your life. Once I shifted my mindset from being this goal-oriented person to someone who was now systems-oriented, my life flipped 180 degrees. I went from this academic failure to now working as a software engineer at Fortune 500 companies like Dell Technologies, AMD, Synopsys. From someone who would procrastinate, eat shitty food, was weak, was skinny, to someone who now reads books, lifts weights, trains martial arts 6 days a week, and most importantly, does all these things consistently. I was only able to make this transformation because I now had systems in place. And in this video, I'm going to tell you what exactly are systems, why are they so powerful, what are the systems that I personally use, and how to create systems for your own life. So let's get right into it. You see, a goal is simply a desire to change your life for the better. But a goal alone does not show you how to make that change. For example, you could have set this goal of making $1 million in the next 5 years, but just setting up this goal is not going to magically teach you the processes and the requirements to achieve that goal. There's something missing in the puzzle, and this is where systems come into play. A system is a collection of processes and habits that you actually use to accomplish these goals. So when it comes to like a system-oriented approach, you actually focus on the day-to-day actionable steps rather than just focusing on the outcome. For example, if your goal was to lose 10 pounds, then someone who was very goal-oriented would constantly think about the fact that he or she has to lose the 10 pounds. However, if you are a systems-oriented person, you will think about the habits, the behaviors that you would actually need to perform in order to lose those 10 pounds. Like you will think about the kind of diet that you need to implement, the kind of exercises that you need to do, your calorie count. So now that you have a system, you actually have actionable steps. You have a road, a path to follow to achieve that goal. Your goal is not some vague, mysterious destination that you may or may not reach. Systems offer you a road to that destination, and if you follow that system, you are bound to reach that destination. Think about the student in college, and his goal is to ace an upcoming math exam. So he studies 2 to 3 hours a day, practices all the previous year's question papers, links up with fellow classmates on the weekends and does group sessions. He pretty much does everything that is required for him to ace this exam. So if he follows this perfect system towards achieving his goals, then it's unreasonable for him to fail. It's actually difficult for him to not ace that exam. And that is the power of systems. In my own life, before I had systems in place, my life was a bit of a mess. I currently have multiple systems going on. I always had this goal of having a pretty good physique, but because in the past I was not following a system, that goal never came true. But then once I actually sat down and I asked myself, what sort of a person would I need to be in order to have a good physique? And I started noting down and started researching the number of times that I would be required to train, the sort of training that I would have to do, the kind of food that I would have to eat. And once I was done with this research phase, I then designed my system. And this system had me training 4 times a week, eating 3 protein-rich meals a day, going to bed as early as 9:30 p.m. so I can actually rejuvenate and wake up fresh for the next workout session, and a bunch of other tiny things that I had to do throughout the day. And now once I had the system in place, this machine was now ready to take me towards my goal. So unless my body literally defies the laws of bio, I was destined to have a good physique in the next 1 or 2 years. A good system makes it impossible for you to not achieve your goal. Just like that, I had created another system for my YouTube channel. I would be required to edit videos, I would require to come up with good ideas, and all these things would take me 4 hours. And I had a system that if I would spend 4 hours every single day towards my YouTube channel, then there is no way that I would not grow as a content creator. All I had to do was just wake up and blindly follow this. And if you really think about it, then a perfect routine is nothing but a bunch of systems that lead you towards your goal. And all what you need to do to be successful in life is basically follow this routine. If you enjoy watching educational content rather than pointless entertainment, then make sure that you click on the subscribe button, because I'm going to be making a lot more of these videos. And you know what the best part about following a system is? is that you experience pleasure and joy every single day. If you're a goal-oriented person, then you only experience this pleasure once you actually achieve the goal, and this could probably take you months or years, and this feeling would only last for a couple of days before you decide to set up another goal. So you basically have to go months without experiencing this pleasure. But with a systems-oriented approach, you get to experience this every single day. Like each time I tick something off my to-do list, I actually feel really, really good. I feel like I have completed an action that would actually take me closer to my goal. I feel like I've been productive, I've been doing things in my life, I'm heading towards a place. And having this sort of positive reinforcement makes it much easier to stick to things long term. Because you are no longer starving for a reward, you are getting rewarded every single day. For example, think of like a software engineer who really wants to get a fancy job at Microsoft, Apple, Netflix. Now, if this person was like a goal-oriented person, he would feel unaccomplished for years because he hasn't attained that job offer at these fancy companies. But if you were someone who was systems-oriented, then he would feel good each time he solves a coding problem, each time he prepares for the interview, each time he finishes a project, because he knows that he is doing the right actions that are required for this goal long term. And this sort of reward that he experiences will also make it very likely that he actually sticks to this goal for years. Like imagine you had to walk 20 kilometers and at the end of this journey you were promised to get $1 million. In the first scenario, you will be rewarded $10,000, let's say, after every kilometer of this journey, and finally after you finish the 20k, you will be given that 1 million. So you're being rewarded at the end and during that journey. This is what a systems-oriented approach is. Whereas a goal-oriented approach is that you will experience no reward throughout the journey. It's only once you get to the destination, that is when you get the reward. In which of these scenarios do you think the person would actually finish that 20-kilometer long walk? And this brings me to the most important part of this video, that is how to create these systems. Nothing that I've said previously will work if you mess this up, so make sure that you pay close attention. As soon as you set up a goal, you need to ask yourself, who that I know has accomplished this goal? This person could be someone that you know in person or someone on the internet. What you need to do is pretty much accumulate as much advice as this person has given about that particular goal. What are the hobbies that help him? What are the activities that help him? What is the mindset that helped them? The more research that you can do on this, the better you would create your system. For example, one of my goals is to become an exceptional entrepreneur who really provides a lot of value to the people he works with. So the person that I try to model is Alex Hormozi, because he's an exceptional entrepreneur who has accomplished just that. So now my business system consists of the behaviors and habits that Alex Hormozi claims helped him. He says that you need to work 4 hours a day on your business related objective. That is exactly what my system consists of. He says that you need to make content. I do exactly that. He says that you need to learn through books and podcasts every single day. And that is precisely what I do. In short, your system should be emulating the habits and behaviors of the person that has already accomplished these goals. This does not mean you just need to copy them 100% and turn off your own brain and do exactly what they say and treat their words as religious scriptures. No, there is room to play around with, of course. You can change things and experiment a bit. But this is what most of your system should actually look like. Because if your system is faulty, then your journey is going to be really painful and you could actually go further away from your goals. A system can only work if your foundational building blocks are strong. If you're addicted to pornography, social media, fast food, and you have a poor sleep schedule, poor self-image, or you're a serial procrastinator, then chances are you would find it really hard to implement the system and head towards your goals. If you would like to work with me and build yourself a strong foundation and strong systems, then make sure that you click on the link in the description and book a one-on-one call with me.